Hey guys, it's me, and I'm here to talk about the 1912 election. 1912 election, guys. Ignore this guy. Don't look at him. 1912 election, guys. So, this is one of the biggest turning points in American history. I mean, you have a lot of competing factors here. World War II is right after this election. This is coming off a bunch of big land grabs during the Spanish-American War. Coming in through a lot of different political change and turmoil and whatnot. This is an important time. Who are the people in this election? Who are they? I don't know who they are. I've never met them. If you could tell me, that'd be really cool. First man is Taft, the incumbent president, the man, the myth, the legend. He was meant to be the successor to Roosevelt after Roosevelt's presidency. But you see, there's one big issue with this guy. He's fat. I hate fat people, and so did Roosevelt. Roosevelt fucking hated his guts because he was fat. I mean, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? And also, people just thought he was a generally weak leader, just didn't live up to the legacy of Roosevelt. So people are mad at him. They want him out because he's fat.
He also, comparatively to Roosevelt, had a bit of a more expansionist U.S. foreign trade. And his sort of all pertain around the idea of dollar diplomacy, which was designed to encourage U.S. investment into South and Central America and the Caribbean and freaking China or something. China, how's it doing, China? Save me from this, Donald Trump. Save me from this.
Donald Trump, if you can hear us, please, Donald Trump, please save me. Please save.
So then, guess what? Roosevelt throws his hat into the ring. Roosevelt's like, you fucking suck, man, and I mean, you freaking suck, man. I'm gonna be the president because my wiener's bigger than yours. He was like, I hate the way that you talk, hate the way that you dress. I hate he's on some Kendrick type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so he's like, I'm gonna make my own party, the Progressive Party, also nicknamed the Bull Moose. I would draw a bull moose, but I don't know how to draw a bull moose. We could draw little horns on this guy. Yeah. This is our bull moose right here. He also gets shot while running in this election. Roosevelt, he gets shot in the chest. But he's swag like that, so he lives because he's just swagger. We got this guy, Woodrow Wilson. Now Woodrow, he was the president of Princeton University and the governor of New Jersey, which that last one is just disgusting and it's fucking gross. Almost as gross, or it's freaking gross. It's almost as freaking gross as Jimmy Carter's looking like right now. I don't mean to get off topic, but Jesus Christ. Let this man die already. This is a crime. The people around him who are keeping him alive. He looks like a ghoul. He looks like a ghoul from Fallout. Let him pass. He doesn't want to be here anymore. I don't think he legitimately wants to be alive anymore. Okay? They beat his ass. They beat him. They beat him up. They beat his booty. They beat his booty cheeks. Look at him. He's got a black eye. What the hell's going on with that guy? Oh yeah, Woodrow Wilson. He thought of himself as a savior or something. I don't know. That might be important later. I don't know.
Some things I forgot to mention here were his domestic policy, which is something I had to do for the paper. But some of his domestic policies on the home front, Wilson, he wanted to promote taxes. He wanted to regulate agriculture and food production, and he also wanted to nationalize the railroad system as to better, give the workers rights and whatnot. But he also had some more isolationist beliefs of America's culture staying to itself. He was racist.
You know, that wasn't our only... These three guys, I mean, frick them, right? They are a bunch of capitalist scumbags. That's when we meet our next guy. Can you even see that? Eugene Debs. Doesn't really look like this. I just feel like drawing this guy. Yeah. So, but yeah, Eugene Debs, he's a communist. He institutes a bunch of different riots and stuff, like the Pullman strike, which affected a bunch of different like rail lines in Detroit. And Detroit was still the center. You know, it was one of the big centers of the U.S. economy still at this time. Before it wasn't, it became the hood. You know, we got Eminem. So I mean, in the end, I guess it works out. You know, here's the go. Best 3 album run in history. He did make that song about putting a gerbil up his butt though. That was not a good song, not a good move, Eminem. You know, Eugene Debs really wanted to tax us more, and I'm not giving him, you know, my bands. You're not getting my bands. Money spread. Money spread. Money spread. But you know, it's kind of everybody except for this guy named Eugene. He was also named Eugene. His name is Eugene W. Chaffin. He was like a very, very minor third party guy. But he almost drowned in Lincoln, Nebraska, while he was running for president the first time back in 1908. He also, well, and I'll read this verbatim. While he was giving a speech in Springfield, Illinois, when a lynch mob started a race riot in an attempt to kill 3 black prisoners, and while he was taking his handkerchief out from his pocket, a member of the mob believed that he was pulling a gun out and threw a brick at him. Later in his life, he died in a house fire from a gas stove that I guess he was messing around with, and it lit on fire and he burned to death. So rest in peace, Eugene W. Chaffin. Didn't sound like you had the best life. You almost drowned. You started a race riot. You burned in a fire. Rest in peace. But this all being said, I mean, in the end, what did the votes tally up to? Well, Woodrow Wilson won, coming in with 42% of the vote, followed by Roosevelt at 27% of the vote. Eugene, our main man, Eugene Debs, not the one who died in a house fire, but the other Eugene. He had actually got 8% of the vote. Eugene, he actually got 6% of the vote, and you know, he actually he had second place in Florida. He beat out Roosevelt, which is kind of weird and cool. But it's also Florida, so they're not really real people. They look like this guy. They look like that guy. But because there's a really interesting thing with this, Woodrow didn't get a majority percent of the vote. He only had 42%, which is far under half, which did lead to some controversy, but I mean, in the end, he became president. He wanted to serve during World War II, World War I. He wanted us to serve during that. He brought us into the war, something that Roosevelt criticized him for during the presidency, that he should have joined earlier, which maybe if Roosevelt was president, we could have joined that earlier.
Another thing I think is important to say is just culturally, this was a very progressive era, and it was kind of shocking for someone like for Wilson to win, just because, I mean, if you look at it, like, Roosevelt, Taft, and Eugene Debs collected a total of 56% of the vote, but because they were all basically pulling from the same group of people, I mean, it's not like they all agree with each other, but I mean, especially Taft and Roosevelt had pretty identical foreign and domestic policies. They both generally believed in the progressive reforms of the time, and James, to a degree, also agreed with them, just maybe, a lot more radical. But this basically just caused a huge fraction in the left-wing side of American politics.
And where are all the guys now? Well, Roosevelt died in his sleep. Taft became a judge. He wasn't as fat when he became a judge. Woodrow Wilson had a bunch of strokes and basically died kind of near the end of his presidency. He was basically bedridden, and it's kind of arguable that his wife, who was a woman, which is gross, was the president, which is gross. Have you seen Hillary Clinton? She's gross. I don't want to. Yeah. So yeah. They could have actually been our first woman president during that. So maybe it's a good thing Roosevelt didn't win, because then we wouldn't have had a woman president. But also, women are gross, so I think it's actually okay. Eugene Debs went to prison after, and that's where they are now. Oh, well, they're all dead now. Rest in peace. That's all I really have.
Wow, we really learned a lot. Thank you to the Spooky.